warm welcome to this introductory class on cryptocurrency fundamental analysis. So cryptocurrencies are an emerging asset class and one of the most exciting investment opportunities of this century. We've gone from a single crypto, Bitcoin, the one that started it all, to thousands today. As this space is extremely speculative, wouldn't it be great to know what to invest in? Sure, you could ask 10 experts and receive 10 distinctly different answers. You could poll 1,000 investors and get a list of 1,000 different coins to invest in. When it comes to knowing what to invest in, you could ask someone to do it for you, but how do you know they understand what they're trying to get you to invest in? The biggest issue for most new investors is they wonder, what should I invest in? And what they find is a minefield of bad advice, poor suggestions, charlatans hustling coins that they've been paid to promote, and people repeating all of it like well-trained parrots. What we aim to help you to learn is how to become a self-sufficient researcher, investigator, and arbiter of truth in a sea of lies. The skills we're going to discuss with you in this class are invaluable and absolutely worth honing for two reasons. First, you'll be able to see more clearly what differentiates a good coin from a bad one. The number one mistake we see new crypto investors make is they listen to the first piece of coin advice they hear and buy into a terrible project with no hope of making them returns. They get frustrated and declare cryptocurrency as a scam, and they miss out on all these potential returns that this space can offer. Getting invested with a project that is dead in the water and has no foreseeable future other than some hollow promises is known as investing in bags and will make you a bag holder. What becomes a small problem as you're down 5% quickly turns into a serious problem as you refuse to sell and you're now down 40, 50, 60, 75% of your initial investment. This is a terrible place to be. One way you can avoid this is by being intelligent with your stops. But you can also avoid this state by avoiding those coins that will become bags. And you do that by knowing what separates a successful project from one that's doomed to fail. The second reason to hone your skills in fundamental analysis is this is one of, if not one of the best ways to see amazing returns on your investment in crypto. There are many, many different ways to make money with cryptocurrency, but almost none of them are as pure and as potentially profitable as finding a cryptocurrency well before most people have. Sure, you can invest in a coin in the top 10 or top 25 by market cap and see a nice single-digit multiplier as that coin gains popularity. But what if you found a coin outside of the top 100, top 200, top 500 that had just as much potential? You could see double-digit or even triple-digit multipliers as that coin starts to gain traction. But as the potential reward increases, so too does the potential risk. We need to understand what fundamentally separates potential winners from destined losers. So that's why fundamental analysis is extremely useful. It helps you to see the potential in a coin before everyone else, and it helps you to stay away from a coin that's clearly lacking substance and will soon be worth only a fraction of what it's currently trading for. Quite simply, fundamental analysis is what helps you buy a coin before it becomes a big hit. Fundamental analysis helps you buy before the spike in price that turns your initial investment into something significant. Fundamental analysis helps you get in early so when the price shoots up but then starts to correct, you don't panic because you're still green on the position and you know the potential of the project will be worth waiting and holding your coins for. In fact, you fundamentally understand and thus believe in the coin so much that while everyone else is panicking because the price is going down and they bought up at the top, you're smiling while you buy up more of the coin because you know it'll eventually be worth way more than its current all-time high. Let me tell you, there's a satisfaction in having ice running through your veins because you know more than every one of those panic sellers. Unlike them, who can't hold on because they can't stomach a 10, 15, 20% drop in price and don't know the true potential of this coin, you know from your research that the team is going to be launching their mainnet in 2 months. After that, they're going to be implementing masternodes, which will lock up 10% of the circulating supply, which you know based on your coin supply appraisal is 25 million, which will increase demand due to lowered supply. And in 6 months, they're going to begin mass production of their blockchain-based hardware solution. It's all from their updated roadmap, which was shared to the community 4 months ago when you initially bought in. You'd certainly like to thank the guy whose Reddit post highlighting this up-and-coming coin brought it to your attention, but it was your evaluation of the coin evaluation you found on Steemit that really opened your eyes to the potential here. You know from your white paper critical analysis that they're patent holders of this hardware solution, and they know exactly how to market it and what areas they are looking to disrupt. You know that disruption is very likely with this project versus their competitors because this project is better suited for this market, and they have the right tech and team to make that stated mission from their white paper happen. It's obvious from the project team assessment that they have a breadth and depth of knowledge in this space. and their advisors are all industry experts. Not to mention, the enthusiasm they convey in their frequent updates is well received by their community. It really does make it that much better when they've been extremely communicative and professional with their community, which has a vibrant subreddit full of in-depth discussion regarding the upcoming mainnet release, discussions about masternode reward percentages, and the partnership this project has just announced through their Twitter and Medium. Hopping over their Telegram channel, the discussion has quickly changed from discussions of price to excitement over this huge opportunity this partnership presents. Now that you think about it, seeing your portfolio raising by almost comical amounts due to the large amount of this coin that you hold, it's funny that the night you stumbled upon this project, you almost dismissed it. After all, it was a small coin that you have never heard of before, and now 4 months later, it represents the largest portion of your blossoming portfolio. It didn't seem like it was worth it at the time, but the work you put in to do a full fundamental analysis on this coin represents an absolutely staggering ratio of your time to the amount you made. Normally, you'd have to be some kind of rock star or celebrity or major league athlete to get paid 6 figures for an hour of your time. But with cryptocurrency, it's possible. Now, of course, the hour or hours of fundamental analysis you did on coins that went on to do very well was coupled with months of waiting and watching the price and participating in the coin's community. But my point is that through a dedicated, meticulous process where you evaluate every aspect of a coin and possibly buy into it, there's little you have to do once you've pulled the trigger and walked away. Now, fundamental analysis is not magic. It's not going to be straightforward. It's a skill and it needs to be honed. And regarding the success or failure of a coin, unfortunately, part of what it's going to come down to is luck and human psychology, which can be pretty difficult to evaluate. For example, one time I evaluated 2 separate coins that were more or less competitors, even if they're targeting different niches within their sector. So I performed a full fundamental analysis check on both of them, and while I found both of them to be compelling and excellent projects, my evaluation led me to believe that one was fundamentally superior to the other. But after my decision, the market didn't agree with me. And that's partly because I undervalued the importance of direct marketing as it related to that sector and the subsequent network effect that it would have. Even to this day, I still stand by my original evaluation of these 2 coins, even though the one I didn't pick is worth significantly more than the one that I did. Was I wrong? Perhaps, or perhaps not. Time will tell if I truly did make the right decision. But the important thing to stress here is that sometimes you're going to be wrong. Something that you think is true is going to end up being false. Something that you evaluated to be good is going to turn out bad. And something that you passed over is going to become successful. A project that you thought was bulletproof ends up making an amateur mistake, and you're left to question your original decision to invest as the price crumbles. And this is why I have to stress that crypto is a highly speculative market, and no one knows the future or what will and won't be successful. Being the best you can be at researching, evaluating, and knowing what makes a project have true potential is going to help you be more right than wrong. Fundamental analysis does not take the guesswork out of crypto, but it makes it a whole lot less of a game of chance. Furthermore, fundamental analysis helps you switch from someone that is always reacting to someone that is proactive. Fundamental analysis helps you to keep your emotions in check, which in turn helps you to become a professional in this space. Being calm, knowing the best course of action, and knowing how to evaluate a situation and a project develops you into the smart money of crypto. Remember the hypothetical situation I described earlier, where you had invested it early in a coin, so you weren't concerned about the price dropping from its all-time high. In fact, you were buying more during that situation. You were going against the herd. You were 2 steps ahead of everyone else. Those are the traits of smart money. And this sort of mentality is what will separate you as you become a veteran of this space. Now, Doc and I strongly feel that the most elite among the investor class possess mastery in both fundamental analysis and technical analysis. This class is solely covering fundamental analysis, which is the study of what to buy and why to buy it. Whereas Doc will soon be releasing a class on technical analysis, which is the study of when to buy and when to sell. I want to emphasize that you do not need to know, much less be a master of technical analysis to use, or even be a master of fundamental analysis. They're sort of like left brain, right brain, 2 parts of a single whole, but capable of acting independently. One thing that I should make clear now is that I'll be using coin and project interchangeably. They both speak about the same entity, just in different ways. Generally, I'll try to refer to coin as the monetary representation of the cryptocurrency, while project refers more to the human aspect, the group of people working to make the cryptocurrency exist and have value in the world. Okay, so what are we going to cover in this class? The first module is going to be centered around the 10 steps you should employ to investigate any cryptocurrency, from Bitcoin to that hot new ICO you heard about. In it, we start with reconnaissance. It's the act of going out and looking for opportunities, seeing if you can't discover something great before other people do, and I like to refer to it as fishing. Next, once we've found our opportunity, we do a coin supply appraisal in which we seek to determine the coin's current supply, max supply, price history, exchanges it's trading on, and any other information we can glean about the economics of the coin itself. After that, we do an evaluation of evaluations. Before we make our own determination of a coin, we want to see what others are saying about it. Think of it like looking at the reviews before buying something on something like Amazon. Now that we've found a coin, determined that the economics look good, and have read through what other people are saying about it, we want to make our own evaluation by moving on to reading the project's white paper, which is a document meant to serve as the central source of information regarding this project. If everything looks good, we start looking over the project's website and the team itself to see what experience they have, how they're structured, and the general composition of the team. Following that, we perform a coin market analysis, where we determine the landscape surrounding this coin, the competitors, the use case viability, and the adoption potential. Now we take what we've learned and assess the project as something we want to buy, something we want to watch, or something we want to skip. By now, we should have a good understanding of the how regarding the coin, the what regarding the project, and the why regarding the mission. Importantly, we do this step and then look at the two sources of information you're going to source from as an investor in this coin, the community and the project communications. We first need to look at the community surrounding the coin. Community is very important if adoption is needed, so we want to see a very active group of people who are discussing this coin and actively excited to be investing in it. After that, we look at the communications from the team, as this will be your best source of information going forward in the future. Lastly, we return to our notes regarding the coin supply appraisal and make a determination of where to buy the coin from. Based on our analysis, we will have a decision on how we rank the coin in our tier system, how we feel about the short versus long-term potential of the coin. We'll know approximately how much we should contribute to this position, if we should set stop losses, and if so, how tight this should be, and finally, how we score this crypto using our metrics in the second module of this course. Importantly, and I want to stress this, this class comes with a printable outline for performing your fundamental analysis. It's meant to be simple and easy to fill out, and it's meant to be your guideline as you move through the 10 steps. In this way, you're able to be deliberate. You're able to write down notes that give you the ability to read them later. I think this is extremely important when you're working on one step and you need to reference an earlier one. But it's also very important because you begin to build up an archive of research notes. Months from now, when a lot of the information you read through to perform your analysis is forgotten, and suddenly you see an opportunity for a coin you've analyzed in the past, how powerful is it that you're able to pull out your research notes and regain all of that knowledge at once? So fundamental analysis helps you be the most knowledgeable investor you can be. It's what separates you from the group of investors who wait to be told what to do, which oftentimes leads to them making hasty, emotional decisions. Instead, you, by taking the time to really comprehend your investments, are able to be rational and logical and not fly by the seat of your pants and react intelligently to a changing landscape. Now, I realize that not everyone is going to follow every step. Human nature, our brains are constantly looking out for ways that we can cut corners, save energy, and just make our lives easier. Of course, I insist that the time you put in is going to be well worth it, and every step matters as much as the last one does. But what I also insist is that you make this process yours. Sort of like dieting, people are most successful when they follow the diet that works best for them, their lifestyle, their habits, their composition. Same with fundamental analysis as it relates to cryptocurrency. If you don't come from a highly technical background, you're going to have frustrations and feel lost at times and come up against words and concepts you've never been exposed to. It's understandable that trying to navigate this space can be daunting. And furthermore, one of the criticisms I hear about fundamental analysis in crypto is that it's useless when coins that are complete jokes or scams can be worth billions of dollars. And what I have to say to both of these things, that crypto is hard to understand and that you could just chase hype and be just as successful, is that we're not interested in knowing everything, and we're not interested in coins that rely purely on hype. With what we're doing in fundamental analysis, we're more interested in coins with long-term prospects. We're interested in going in on a coin before it has hype, not after. We aim to get in on the ground floor of something that's likely to be worth much more one day, and we aim to fundamentally understand why that's likely to happen. It's okay if you don't understand everything because you've got the powers of perception. You'll become very good at being able to discern a scam company from a legitimate one. You'll be able to tell a project is simply a cash grab by digging a little deeper than most are willing to go. You'll begin to understand what separates a good white paper from a bad one, even without knowing what a lot of the words in the white paper mean. And you'll be able to save yourself from getting burned by investing in a coin that has no fundamentals to back it up. Furthermore, crypto is changing every day. What's going to be extremely evident in a few years is that the coins that lasted were the ones that had the fundamentals backing them. If crypto is the dot-com bubble reborn, then we want to find the next Google and Amazon, not the next flops. So with that, let's get started. Be sure to find the Fundamental Analysis Investor handout and use it in the medium that suits you, digital or printed. In the next video, we'll start by performing some reconnaissance, which is how we determine what coins we want to look at.